Dobra, zobaczymy. Forgive me, it seems my indecision has cost you precious time, but I'm convinced that you will too. To the sound you will find a bridge, the like here is the bearer of for relic, the gate to the castle will open to. Nice. Taka to by mal byť dungeon boss raid. Восемьдесят 54 самурай Black Match. Меч. А, to zrażaj oddzielone. Tam je ta Fairy Village. Podróż po nocy to może być piękne. To je poslední item? A z toho questu dostanu poslední a budem moc lietat. Wow. Taky řekl, že tady bylo for the seal is broken. Of the remains is to enter the castle and confront Titania and being bereft of reason and mercy. It is sure that the first seals a battle, but if anyone can bring an end to our king's torment, it is you. Yet to know this neither sapling, no tow with you. Okay, may appear to live an unfettered life, there are still laws that bind us. take back as much as it taken, or to create as much as is destroyed, to give as much as is received. In all things, plants to must be preserved, and the same will be asked of you. But worry not, come what may, your beautiful parent will be at your side. Ja sa dám vyhľadávať najprv ľudí. The dancing pledge. FFXIV, the dancing pledge. Normal guy today. Veľmi zaujímavé. Dobre, to vyzeralo easy. Uvidíme, aká bude realita. Ako ľudia sa tam zbierajú, ale či by to čo pomáhalo? Ahoj. No ale asi nič teda. Jeden healer, jeden tank, akože progres tu je veľa čo. Že by niekto robil? Wow. Wow, dobre. Streda ráno, či štvrtok ráno a našli. No tak, tank. Super. To są samochody z tego. Dobra, idę. Wiem, ale być aż do ulu. No to często strzelam. Ale to ten Tuxus? Dobra, wychodzę do tego. Pekne. Aha. O, level up są wysłał do końca. Ja sam co potracimy na budowanie odpisu. Pochybuję. Gdzieś tam to było koście. Jak nic, tak nic. 15 minút, dobre, počkám do 20, a ak nič, tak nič. Mám to cez Zoom. Cez Finder. Ale boha. Chápeš, tak jeden tank to nepríjme, ono to celé vyresetuje, alebo ja nechápem vôbec. Ešte tam mám nastavené joining progress. Ešte vôbec. And the party finder. Area adventuring pledge. Unrestricted party. Runners, plans, Dancing play, čo to je, jak sa to baví? Bo fakt niečo neuveriteľné, kým nájdeme. Nice healer. Tak to určite easy kvôli 4. Aspoň jeden tank. To veľmi že jak sa to povie? Eee. Dlaczego są ślepi? Ježišmarja. No to dáme v 5. Dobra, skipnem toto.
Come and play. For the night is bright and you can sleep when you're dead. Wait, wait, wait. When you play with fire.
Okej, teraz robię to flagi jakieś, chyba coś stabilnego.
We're sick of this crapped old castle. Let's win.
Jak budu ještě ty velký. Prečo? Nikto. Wow.
Come down, Slusher. We shall return. This is so much fun. Let's play some more. We can play no more.
Jak rýchlo. Wow. A to by bol fajn boss toto. Nádhera.
You have freed our fallen king. Not that I expected any less, my Snayak. The dress, the crown, the scepter, the shoes. The time has come for these relics to serve their true purpose. For they are not only keys to the castle, they are also blessings to be bestowed upon the new king. The way into the castle is opened when it is time to relieve the reigning monarch of the throne. And the brave soul who does the deed has the honor of taking their place.
Ja.
However, should you ascend the throne, you will become one of us, never again to live as men do. My adorable sapling, my precious mortal. We Fae folk live forever, but such is not your virtue. To strive for a dream you will never see, to sow seeds that others might one day taste the fruits of your garden, that is the beauty of your kind. Burn bright and shine as only you can. These blessings, your lovely branch will accept in your stead.
Ďakujem.
Hinla, Ilichla, Ilmeg, Okbra. Now, shall we attend to those unwise enough to trespass in our realm?
Pequeño brillante.
Confound it! How did they get here so fast?
Damn these pixies and their tricks!
How in the seven hells?
Listen well. We come in pursuit of villains who have fled to this land. You know who and where they are. Now show yourselves and answer me before I lose my patience.
Oh, stop! It hurts! It hurts!
Enough! Lift the enchantment!
Minfilia, willful child. How many times must I come to collect you?
I won't return to your maw. And I won't let you hurt my friends.
What is this stance? Where did you learn it? No oracle I trained would make such an unseemly show of herself.
Oracle Mildred's. Okay.
Know your shame, gal. You're powerless. You have no life nor purpose, save that which our master sees fit to permit.
Who are you to dictate her purpose? To lock her away and deny her a life? If she was powerless, it's because of you, you sanctimonious swine. But no longer.
Fool! Defiance only begets more suffering. It is through acceptance alone that one may find solace in this god's forsaken.
Look! The sky! She's done it. The Warrior of Darkness has triumphed.
General? What are our orders? What do we do?
We do what we came to do. Subdue this rabble and find the Warrior of Darkness.
Forward, men! Take the villains captive! Are you deaf? I said...
Terramis! Axla Orwain!
Axla Orwain! What's happening?
Water? That wasn't there before. Ah!
Orwaik Ansasi, Orwaik Kinsey.
What's the matter with you? Get a hold of yourselves, damn it!
General, they come in greater numbers. We must retreat.
All who stand with a warrior of darkness shall face justice. My master demands it.
Jakýže ste hluky a za ním typek premenený na kerik. Bolo dobré.
I see. Well, it's a good thing Feaul volunteered to become king in your stead, for all our sakes.
We are grateful for your timely aid, Feaul, or should I say, your majesty.
'Twas the first night in recent memory. We all of us but wished to make the most of it. That's something you must remember about us Fae folk. Though our existence may be eternal, we exist only for the present. We live in the here and now, paying no mind to futures that may or may not be. To wit, we are not driven as men are. We cannot fight for such causes as men do.
Does that mean you won't aid us against the Sin Eaters?
Not unless the mood takes us. But if it was to repay a debt, well then, that's another matter. To take back as much as is taken. To create as much as is destroyed. To give as much as is received. Such is the way of Ilmeg. By this law, we shall lend you our strength. In return for the beautiful sky you have restored to us. In times of need, do not hesitate to call. Silly sapling. I shall remain at your side. Even should my body be in the castle, 'tis a simple thing to have a little part of me accompany you. Treat them as you would your Isnefis.
Easy. Never for a moment did I doubt that would triumph over the foe, yet the majesty of it and achievement delighted not me nonetheless. Night that returned to Ilmeg and we stand one step closer to delivering the first from its doom, and averting the Umbra calamity. Is but a pity thou wert not present to see the folk with the Elmarans. At the fight, it was a sight that raised the spirits, I do assure thee. But what valuable lies they might prove, never the mode only to take to them. I know you could do it, and not only because of your blessing, you have strength all your own, and it has seen us as true mate in nature. Warden defeated, I believe our work here is done. It is done. We were going to get needless to say. To the bitter end, the fate of our two worlds being at stake and all that. I mean, I don't know. Now, then I suggest we hurry back to Crystarium match and more may have happened while we were throttling with the thief or... And should I defy? That arranging like that the process makes me hopeful that the city was spared more attentions, but I would see for myself. Besides, I believe I speak for love when for us all when I say that I had a belly full of ill-make. Let us away before the fairies think to play with us again. Čo to stojí? Na 70, okay. OK, ale ja si chcem ísť pozrieť tu na kote. Tu oblasť odomknúť hlavne. No, tak respektíve to budú asi oblasti. Saint Frederick's. Oh, okay. We should do a call. Free. Okay, a ty si rýchla jednotka. Takže proti rýchlym jednotkám sú dobrí oštepári. O, to mają relik. To by... Sekunda. On se to naganił tak. Teraz on daje, no. Może się da. To ważny predział. Okej. Easy. Spać перегляду места, будемо си тренувати.
All seems well at the Crystarium.
Yes. Yulmore was plainly more concerned with finding us. How flattering.
Aha. Neverim. Garland.
You certainly took your time. I had half resolved to complete the task myself.
And you are...
Nie chcę wiedzieć.
Were one to study the annals of Garlean history, one would find yonder visage on many a page, though by rights its youth should long since have faded.
Well, well, we have a historian in our midst. That spares me a lengthy explanation. I am Solus Sos Galvus, founding father of the Garlean Empire, and under various guises, the architect of myriad other imperially inclined nations. As for my true identity... I am Emmett Selk, Asian.
Gaius spoke of you. A native of the Source.
Equal in rank to La Habrea. And you came all this way just to introduce yourself to us?
Behold the sky, restored to its former glory. Have you ever seen a more affecting spectacle? Oh, it is truly, deeply infuriating. Do you have any idea how much you have delayed the rejoining? Following the flood, the First had been listing ever further towards the light, towards stasis. The end was in sight. Enter man and his indomitable spirit. He would haul the world back from the brink. And adding his lumpen weight to the power of growth, he duly tipped the scales, if only by a fraction. Yet a fraction was enough to spoil the perfect imbalance needed to bring about a rejoining. Had mankind continued to live in idleness under Vorthri's rule, all the conditions would have been met. But you had to come and ruin it all.
Ale bohužel
Thanks to your meddling, Light supremacy is in doubt, and our painstakingly laid plans are in tatter.
Well, I should begin by thanking you for confirming Urianger's theories on the inner workings of the Calamity. He will be most pleased. As for what happens next, might I suggest you admit defeat and walk away?
Happy to let me go, are you? Because the murderous glint in your eye suggests otherwise. Indeed, it is enough to make me think better of confronting you alone. Look, it did cross my mind to simply side with Vorthri and kill you all. But that's no different from what La Habre did. And we all know how well that ended for him. And so, while it is liable to be troublesome, I have settled upon a different approach. Cooperation. I will not raise a hand to hinder your hunt for the Light Wardens. If you desire it, I will even lend you my knowledge and strength.
Since time immemorial, you and yours have labored to rejoin the 13 shards, at the cost of countless lives. Do you expect us to believe that your objective has suddenly changed?
Nay, our objective is the same as it ever was. Though I dare say, you do not know our motive. A war waged without knowledge of the enemy is no war. It is mere bloodletting. Just once, might we not seek to find common ground? For good or ill, I am immortal. Provided I have the inclination, I can always begin anew, scheme and conspire to my heart's content. But this time I thought that I might instead try to see eye to eye, to understand what drives the hero of the source, to determine if our goals are truly incompatible. So come, shed your preconceptions. See beyond the unscrupulous villains you take us for. When all is said and done, we may find ourselves pleasantly surprised. The proud discoverers of a path of cooperation rather than opposition. Think of it.
Thou hast delivered thy proposal, and we would not dismiss it out. If I may offer thee counsel, however, to make thy case via an illusion reflecteth poorly upon thy...
My apologies. You will forgive me if I'm not entirely at ease in the presence of a famed Ascian Slayer. I felt it only prudent to take precautions. Nonetheless, your counsel is duly noted. I take my leave, friends. Rest assured, we shall meet again soon.
Zabiť by nepomohlo proste, lebo má klony. Cooperation, he can be serious, can he? We have certainly been given much aid upon, but first thing first, we should report to Exarch. You can run along, you are perfectly capable of handling this little task. In light of your recent exertion, I would say, we have earned arrest. Go and take yourself off bed, we will see you later, refreshed and ready for more. Pandalarium, check pendants. Battery expecting a was light and quite several will be right at that. Vždycky má nějakou vypížen alebo niečo. Sandwiche. I hope the past few days have not been overly taxing. Pray take a rest and recover.
From the Exarch, is it? With that mirror of his, he can watch your every move, you know. You'll probably think you're talking to yourself. Still, he's keeping you well fed. Judging by his people's faith in him, he seems to be a decent sort. But so much about him remains shrouded in mystery. Like, what was he doing back in my day? There was no such person when I was around. A lot's happened since the flood, though. Since I was set adrift. I know little more than you do of this city's history in the Exarch's past.
Not
that it matters. It's Emmet Selk we should be concerned about. When our world was about to be consumed by light, the Ascian in white appeared before us. He said that the only way for us to live on was to bring about the rejoining. Desperate as we were, we heeded his words, not realizing that the flood was of the Ascian's own making. They cannot be trusted. None of them. But Emmet Selk had one thing right. One should not fight blindly. That's what we did. And it cost us everything we held dear. What? What about Seto? What is there to say? He's done some growing. When we were traveling together, he was nowhere near as big, and he obviously couldn't speak. I had no idea how much that medallion meant to him. What about you, anyway? You must have a friend like Seto. Chocobo, perhaps? Come on, you tell me something for a change.
Realpolitik. Party soon divided. Good day to you, miss. I hope you are well rested. The Exarch and your companions are presently captured in the Okula. I ask that you convene with your real convenience. Se na tohle celkom rychle dostali. No to sa idem pozrieť, čo je toto za post, čo mi to dáva, alebo... Čo mi to nedá? Nejaký quest len proste, sajtový. Shadow.
Ah, there you are. You're just in time to welcome our guest.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Did I not explicitly tell you that we would be meeting again soon? Lest you forget I made you a promise. I have no intention of meddling with your mission. I come only to observe. Your Exarch friend in particular has piqued my curiosity. Summoning you all like that. Most impressive.
You honestly expect us to believe you've come only to observe? Or that you might deign to lift a finger to aid our cause if called upon? Even if there were a sliver of truth in your words, I would never accept your help. Not in my darkest hour. Not after all the suffering your kind has wrought.
So petty. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Wage your war against the Sin Eaters, put each and every Light Warden to the sword. Prove yourselves heroes, brave and true, and I will be glad to embrace you as allies. Allies worthy of bearing the burden of truth. Surely such a partnership would be preferable to yet another round of fisticuffs.
Ale nie wiem, o czym idzie.
And thus did the olive branch wither and die.
Pity.
Well, let no man say I did not try, futile as it was. Though I suspect you will seek me out when you grow tired of making the same mistakes. Difficult decisions lie ahead of you. Decisions best made with the benefit of knowledge to which only the Eternal are privy. For now, I shall resume my shadowy vigil. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it's worth watching, would you?
What was that all about?
A vain attempt to make us doubt our chosen cause, most like. As if we'd believe a word that passed his lips. Unless you think there is some truth in what he says.
I share your suspicion, of course. But if he simply meant to lead us astray, he could have done so without revealing himself. At least, not in the manner he did. It goes without saying that an alliance with the Ascians is out of the question. But since we have no way of knowing where they might be hiding, it seems only logical to press on with our mission, even if our enemy seems content for it to succeed.
Then let us discuss the Sin Eaters. I would begin by thanking you all for your efforts thus far. In striking down the Light Wardens of Lakeland and Ilmeg, you have accomplished more in your short time here than all of our forces managed in the last century.
That may be, but the Wardens of Calusia, Armarang, and Raktika remain.
Indeed, and their precise whereabouts are as yet unknown. Which is why I propose we divide our forces and conduct a systematic survey of each region. Once we have found our quarry, we may then determine how best to proceed.
I'll take Armarang in that case. I know the lie of the land well enough.
If there are no objections, I will make for Calusia. I have connections there both in and around Yulmore that may prove useful.
Then I would ask that you journey to Raktika. There you will find Y'shtola. With her assistance, I doubt the Warden will evade your grasp for long.
Is Y'shtola the conjurer you and Urianger used to talk about?
That's right. Though we haven't spoken much since she left for the forest.
I fear I may be to blame for that. I had every intention of relaying the news of your arrival, but she is disinclined to speak with me. You have visited her, have you not? Might I trouble you to...
'Twould be no trouble.
My thanks. While you are all out in the field, I shall be here attending to business. I had somewhat fancifully contemplated joining the search myself, but other matters demand my attention.
What's that?
A missive from Lord Vorthry. He invites me to join him in Yulmore to discuss the recent conflict at Lida Luran.
And? Did he even bother to offer any bait? It's obviously a trap.
I should be surprised if it were not. Nevertheless, I must seize this opportunity to speak with him, even if only a few words are exchanged. Though my power will be much diminished so far from the tower, it is a risk I am willing to take. Master Alphino, might I impose upon you to accompany me to Yulmore prior to beginning your reconnaissance?
Of course.
Then let us make ready. Safe travels to you all.
Preferably, I would make a request of you. There is a church or the ruins of church at Fort Job. May I ask that you go there before seeking out Y'shtola? It was a place where people once gathered to worship the light. Alas, it has long since fallen into disuse. Yet within the hall, there remains a table plus everything I believe may prove of use to Y'shtola. At the very last, such a relic would make a suitable gift for your reunion. I must consider the proposal very well. Here we depart to Raktika. We shall journey and for the job that we might secure the relic. Okay, a ten for the job to the... Oh, aha, okej. Lakeland. Filmek mam, 1, 2, 3, 4 tam jeszcze. 1, 2 nie mam, a tam już mam po polku, dobra. Here, amidst these ruins, we will find the Church of the First Light, and within that hollow, the table we seek. Time is our essence, my friend, let us be quick. At the height of Lakeland prosperity, the Caesar served not as man's final bastion, but as a testament to his ingenuity and architectural prowess. The Church of Light was responsible for many such marvelous buildings, majestic chapels in every corner of the realm. Alas, the flood with its inexorable tides would drawn night everyone, and did all but an end to the religion as a whole. For the creatures which then did arise from the Volgant deluge, seen as a agent of the divine punishment, sent to devour sin and sin both. Hence came the name of Sin Eaters. The people were lost and slightly forsaken by their gods. Yet where there is a light, there had ever been a shade, and 'twas in the dark they sought solace. The most devout of the Warships of shadows did then migrate to the Electrica Greatwood. But that is a tale for another time. For now, let us find what remains of the chapel here. Co się dało jest to? A hej, tu. This is indeed the church we seek. It's surprisingly intact. What little is left of the churches I've seen until now has always borne the scars of the gates of disease. It's a subterranean construction halted down much to protect the hull from the revenge of time. Yet the reason for its remarkable preservation may be dedicated from its decoration. As fade in the light did wane, draws reverence for the dark, and its flowers did want a place of worship to be plain. The standards which do adorn these walls belong not to those who built them, but the worshippers of the dark, the night place, who subsequently immigrated to Archaeus. Indeed, it was beneath the shades broad of Raktika, great wood that they finally found sanctuary of and many times did Elmore make suspicious overture of friendship upon them, but they are no fools. The exarch knowed full well the Dishtola in her seclusion. Ústraní samota. In her seclusion, dirt lover to learn all she may of the blessed and the vast. That is why he sent us to hear and now see. The table which is spoken of provide a glimpse into history that she so yearned to comprehend. Well, then we would be hurry and find it. Okay, sekunda. Oh, okay. A, to było easy. Ten to co jest? Co się nie všimli, jak gdzie tam myśli traje lupanci. No to escape deny it would seem this indeed the temple we seek grows this ingredients data denied blessed. If I'm not mistaken, they read in the script of the ancient empire of Ronka, whose capital once stood in the midst of what is now Raktika. Okay. Till be no small matter the deceive her them. A fine gift for our seeker of the truth. This plan, the exarch understand it. Ishtar only too well. But come, let us quiet this place and make ready for our journey into the woods. Oh. Here with the part that there is a custom of the night of list, which I feel completed liquidate. As one might expect, they deem light to be abhorrent and everything it touch be fooled. This was they take the most pains to protect all they can from its state, including their very names. Big plan, it is the belief of the blessed that one's own name must never be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precluded not the use of another. Thus the parents protected their children, and in rare case, masters their disciples. Say it is that Ishtola had taken the name of Master Mataya. Lest we offend them, I bid you speak not her true name in the blessed presence. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keep vigil at the great woods border. Okay, to je tu na okraji, dobré. Tu bude ešte jedna oblasť. Aj dole bude, takže... Merchant. Come travel, what business bring you here? Yes, of course, right this way. Je tam iba jedna brána, takže inakšie asi nie.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow. And so he braves the forests of Raktika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
The Raktika Greatwood, no round.
We have arrived. Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Sidia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold.
Jezus, zas on. To nás špehuješ, cigán.
No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule! Forgive me. A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days. Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples, all for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
Že prežijem tvoju prítomnosť, ale nie tvoje komentáre. Plan of Eurasian counterpart meant to follow where Auras will lead. Were it otherwise, he would not suffer the overbound of the light in these woods. Really, it's prevent every corner, and so long as the light warden remains, the Sinistras shall be free. Had to prey upon these lands without cease. If now it is done, it is but matter of time before the blessing was the second. 2 years past, the swarm of Sinistras delayed waste out their large settlement, killing a great many of their priests in Soding. Though some few did survive, they know not how to go on. We are the souls in wayward souls in want of a guiding hand. For mercy, Stola had provided that which they sorely needed. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and with her shall we bend our steps. The fourth con. Takže sa ide do pevnosti kon. A moment, toto. 300 niečo na Northeast. Niekde medzi The Husk a The Con. Sto Northeast. Aha, máme to 2 pracka, ale chyba teda. Ultrakitor. Celkom toto je vyhorené.
I see little sign of recent activity, nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Pistola search, somewhere else. Come, let us go out of this place.
Now! Surround them!
Jak hra hru ten Garland.
These senators, they're not like the others.
There's a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a Sin Eater trick. They mean to kill us all.
Kupo? No daj.
That will seem a lot less amusing when we are forced to kill them.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so I retire to the shade. Good luck.
Ale iba nám to zhorší, to vidím.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Enough. Runar, report.
Master Matoya!
Nice.
We apprehended them as you ordered, but are you certain these are Sin Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin Eaters, then what?
'Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether. Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
Nay, I recognize you, Urianger, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company, the one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though she is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but two Light Wardens have already perished by her most puissant hand.
It cannot be.
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Raktika and its people.
Y'shtola, však ty se skoro na mě zabudla. I've been busy since arriving in the forest, I guess, but I would hear the tale of which was is a more suitable surrounding. We'd forget that yet be revealed that the Night Blesser made the homing commander to the northeast. I will avoid you at its entrance. I will follow the path through the under gate and you will find the missing map. A heater, lol. To daleko celkom, ne do stredu mapky. Ok, a další je 500 northeast. Opa. To odemknijmy toto. A půjdeme si takto. Jo, to je to. Dobré. Podejde. A je, že mi to resetne. Dobré. Nevadí. Winterpunkt. Pistola.
Slitherbough is the largest of the blessed settlements. They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself. It is a curious kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people. Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears.
Come on. Private ears.
I see. And now you seek the Light Warden of Raktika. In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I have come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Where is your... Lom. Nie je to lom, ináč. Dobývať kameň, obeť, korisť, lom, lovená zver, obeť.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya. Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, thou needst only ask.
Łagodność, brudne szczęście. Możesz pomóc, to cię Solan spytać.
Thank you, Urianger. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Stola, while most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world. Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
Просто jesteś sztuczladą.
He understands that I'm not the same. That I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will.
Rozumie, ale nie akceptuje. The question is whether he will.
And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life. But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
Ja dostałem Gearsa na to zabudował. Ciepka 403, ogień 403. Sandwich basket są dostał właśnie. Wow. No, takto. Ja sa pozriem. A Day in the Neighborhood. Mám quest. Čiže to je 2, 4... 6 questov som teda spravil. Dobre, idem ja na chvíľu. Prídem o 2 hodinky asi.